Welcome to episode 41 of the Burning Bush podcast, where we share the message of the Bible while enjoying a good cigar. Hope everybody's week is going well, and thanks for stopping by. As always, appreciate you guys taking a few minutes to listen to the podcast every week. And this week, I am smoking a Toraño Exodus 1959 50 years in the Robusto size 5 by 52. I went on the Toraño website, and they actually have no information on their website about any of their cigars. They just have links that would take you out to Cigar World for where you could buy them and get all the descriptions and things. But all those links are broken, so I'm not sure what's going on with them. As well as all their social media is like 4 and 5 years since they've posted on their social media. So I don't know what happened to their online presence, but they're still selling cigars. So I'll take you on over to Cigars International and read you what they have to say about the Toraño Exodus 1959 50 years. The Big 5-0. Exodus 1959 has been the Toraño's longtime flagship brand, earning a stellar 92 rating and other top cigar honors. Named for the year the Toraño family fled Cuba, their Exodus has just reached its 50-year milestone. So to commemorate the occasion, the Toraños have worked up something truly special. Toraño Exodus 1959, 50 years. This special edition Exodus is gorgeous, draped in a sun-grown Brazilian Arapiraca wrapper. This dark, thick leaf is responsible for a flood of rich, decadent flavors. On the inside is a specially selected mix of Nicaraguan long fillers from the Esteli and Pueblo Nuevo regions. The combination produces a plethora of flavors, including notes of cocoa, earth, spices, sweetness, and a long, satisfying finish. Smooth, balanced, and complex, Exodus 1959, 50 years, is another brilliant work from the celebrated Toraño family. Carlos Toraño Exodus 1959, 50 years received a well-deserved 93-point rating in addition to top 25 cigar honors, noting rich and balanced with toasty, nutty flavors that build in sweetness, taking on some notes of dried berries on the finish. And it is a medium to full. It comes in two different shapes, the Gordo and the Robusto, but 3 sizes. The wrapper, as I said, is Brazilian. The filler is Nicaraguan. And the sizes are the Vitolas, the BFC, which is a Gordo, 6 by 60. The box-pressed Robusto, 5.5 by 55, and then the regular Robusto, which I'm smoking, is the 5 by 52. So that is the description of the Toraño Exodus 1959, 50 years, from the Cigars International website. So now that we've taken care of the cigar business for this week, let's go ahead and jump into Mike Heiser's book, What Does God Want?, where we're in the second to the last section of the book in chapter 9. So we'll be finishing it up next week. It's entitled, Disciples Suffer. This element might surprise you, but it's clear in the New Testament. Jesus told his disciples, "If the world hates you, you know that it has hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love you as its own. But because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you." That's John 15, 18 through 20. This is where believing loyalty is really tested. It's one thing to learn that we need to have a change of heart on how we live. It's quite another to be following Jesus and suffer for it. The apostles suffered for following Jesus, Acts 5:41, 9:16, 21:13, and 2 Corinthians 11:22 through 29. Holding on to faith is a theme throughout the New Testament. Romans 8:17 through 18, and 2 Corinthians 1:3 through 7, Philippians 1:27 to 30, and 1 Peter 3:13 through 17. Peter, one of the original 12 disciples, had seen Jesus suffer and had been imprisoned for his faith. Acts 12:1 through 19. He wrote to the believers who had been displaced and scattered by persecution. For what credit is it if when you sin and are beaten for it, you endure? But if when you do good and suffer for it, you endure, this is a gracious thing in the sight of God. For to this you have been called, because Christ also suffered for you, leaving you an example, so that you might follow in his steps. He committed no sin, neither was deceit found in his mouth. When he was reviled, he did not revile in return. When he suffered, he did not threaten, but continued entrusting himself to him who judges justly. 1 Peter 2:20 through 23. Enduring suffering requires us to remember that the gospel does not promise ease in this life, but an everlasting place in God's family in the life to come. This world is not our real home. That'll finish this week's section of Mike Heiser's book, What Does God Want? And next week we will be in the final section and finish out the book. And I'll let you know the following week what we're going to be doing from here on out for a little while. So once again, thanks for stopping by. Be sure to check out the show notes for links to this week's cigar, to all of Mike Heiser's stuff, his Naked Bible podcast, his Awakening School of Theology, as well as links to his all of his books that I highly recommend, and to groundworksministries.com for daily Bible studies and devotionals. And be sure to check out the Burning Bush merchandise store, where you can pick up some merch to help spread the word. I'd really appreciate that. So until next week, have a great day, have a great cigar, and God bless.